We greet you from Wilmington, North Carolina, and Legion Stadium. Sea Devil TV bringing you today Cape Fear Sea Devils women's soccer as they host Patrick Henry Community College Patriots. Hi, everybody. Chris Sheba, glad to be here with you. As you see, both teams doing the walkout. Let's meet the starters for the 4-1 Patrick Henry Patriots, who have had a very busy week. 2-1 in Region 10 play, already 2-1 here on the road. Lynn Murphy is going with the 3-5-2 today. Starting in front of the net, the keeper is number 17. That's Kelsey Cruz. We also may see number 0, Anna Flincham, at some point here in this ball game. The left back, number 22, Ellie Fitzpatrick. Center back, number 7, Savannah West. And the right back is number 21, Emily Hampton. The midfielders for Patrick Henry in their 3-5-2 is number 23, Chloe McCall, number 25, Chelsea Ford, number 10, Kirsten Downey, number 12, Abby Flincham, and number 8, Monica Brown. And the forwards attacking is number 6, Naja Sanchez, and number 5, Anaya Martin. So that's the starters for Patrick Henry, who come in, as I mentioned, at 4-1, playing, by the way, their third game in 4 days. Now starting today for Cape Fear, the Sea Devils, head coach Ryan Deppa, 32-10 in his third season here in Wilmington. He's going with a 4-5-1 today. In front of the net, number 55, CJ Garvey, an 0.95 goals against average for CJ in 190 minutes in 4 games so far for Cape Fear. The defenders at left back, number 24, Melanie Anderson. Center backs, number 20, Sydney Parker, and number 3, Madison Boulder. And at right back, number 13, Anderson O'Neill. The midfielders are number 11, Nina Perry, number 10, Lauren Hatcher. The attacking midfielder is number 7, Janessa Annis. Out on the wing, number 14, Carly Higgins, number 18, Sierra Rayner, and the forward today is number 9, that's Elena Capps. So we will take just a brief break here, and then we'll bring you the opening kickoff coming up here in just a second. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you here in Wilmington. Legion Stadium, the old home of the Hammerheads now, and has been for several years the home of the Cape Fear Sea Devils, who are looking to stay unbeaten. They're 4-0, 1-0 in Region 10 play, taking on a very good Patrick Henry Patriots team coming in at 4-1. Patrick Henry, as I mentioned, playing in their third game in 4 days, all of those on the road. They won against Regent College 8-0 on Saturday. So Patrick Henry and Cape Fear, hang on. If you're not a fan of soccer, you might become a fan of soccer because of the pace that these two teams are going to play. It's going to be a lot of up and down action. Cape Fear averaging just around 6 goals per game and is third in the NJCAA with 29 shots per game. That's small potatoes for Patriots fans, as you might know. They're averaging 42.2. Let's give them the .2. Let's not be greedy. Shots per game. Yes, that does lead the NJCAA in Division I. Unreal. Well, the offensive numbers that the Patriots have been able to pull up. Now, yes, some of that has been competition, but Lynn Murphy has her team playing very well early on in this season. So Cape Fear is in the sky blue on your screen, and Patrick Henry in the dark blue. Again, Patrick Henry, the 3-5-2, Cape Fear, 4-5-1. These two teams met twice last year, and they split, winning each team winning at home. It was 3-0 here at Legion Stadium for Cape Fear on September 3rd of last year. The shots 26-7 in favor of Cape Fear in that game. And then October 12th, they went up to Virginia and lost 2-0 at Patrick Henry, but they did outshot Patrick Henry again, 24-8. In fact, Cape Fear had 11 shots on goal in that game. and their old Patrick Henry's old keeper, Sabrina Amos, had 11 saves. So we're a little bit delayed getting started here, folks. A couple of things to note. You can use the hashtag CDevilTV that you saw on the preview when we first started broadcasting. If you want to talk to me on Twitter, even easier, if you're on your computer, laptop, you can do it on a Roku or a phone, but it's a little more difficult, is the live chat. We got the live chat going. Marty and Robert have already been on, although all Robert said in the chat was the letter M, so I'm not sure if he's going to finish his thought or not, but feel free to, Robert, and anybody else who wants to chat with us during today's broadcast. Expecting a lot of fun. These two teams played very tight last year. Patrick Henry's been on the uptick here in Region 10. Lynn Murphy has, like I said, had them playing well this year. They were 13-6-1 last year, 8-11-1 2 years ago, so they've really been improving a lot. Patrick Henry coming to town today to take on Cape Fear. Cape Fear will possess first, as you see Annis at center circle with caps. And they will get us started. By the way, congratulations are in order for Carly Higgins, who we're going to see a lot of today. Player of the Week in the NJCAA in Division I. So Annis gets it back. It was Perry, I believe, over on that far side. As we're just underway here in the opening minute. 22 for Patrick Henry is Fitzpatrick, one of the wings, trying to get the ball forward. And it comes to C.J. Garvey. Her numbers, again, 4 games, 190 minutes, 2 goals allowed, 0.95 goals against average. She stopped 86% of the shots that she has faced. Here's Monica Brown on that left side, and that's going to be a throw-in for Brown. Madison Boulder, the center back for Cape Fear, comes over. Chris Sheeman, glad to be with you. It's our first of 2 or 3 women's broadcasts. We'll do a couple of guys' games, too. The guys' game ran a little bit long. If you're just joining us, that's why we're late. The officials did not show up. They went to the wrong place. Over on that long far side, it's a run for Higgins, I believe. And now Cape Fear, it's centered for Carly Higgins. Higgins looking to make a couple of moves, and good defense for Patrick Henry. Shot taken by Nina Perry, but on one hop, Kelsey Cruz able to come up with it. Apologies to Patriots fans. Their numbers, their stats were a little goofy on the website, so I wasn't able to get the keeper's numbers. But I do know Lynn Murphy has split time like Ryan Deppa has with his keepers. So both keepers playing very well. Obviously, Patrick Henry at 4-1. We just don't have specifics for you. Caps giving it a run, trying to get around the defenders and trying to hold her off is that center back Fitzpatrick. The left back, I should say, Fitzpatrick. But goes behind, and we'll have our first corner. Usually it's Patrick Henry that dominates the corners. We'll see how this one plays out. Cape Fear with their first here in the 3rd minute. And it's going to be taken by Sierra Rayner. Rayner long on that one. Over on the far side, Nina Perry trying to play it in. It was headed by Caps, I believe, and Kelsey Cruz makes a play on it. So disaster, danger averted for the Patriots. Again, here in minute 3. First corner for Cape Fear. Nothing doing. Perry on the far side. Here's Carly Higgins out on the wing. Higgins, the reigning player of the week, and it's cleared out by Savannah West, the center back for Patrick Henry. So they'll throw it in over on the far side. Cape Fear, also the latest rankings just came out. They are now 12th in Division I in the NJCAA. So Cape Fear 12th. I was wondering if Patrick Henry would get at least a vote or two. They did not in that poll. Cape Fear is also 12th in another poll. That's the United Soccer Coaches poll. Trying to get on the board here. That's Perry with a ball. And off the hop, Sierra Rayner hits it out of play, so goal kick to come. So, folks, bear with me here. Right before we went on the air, I choked. The water went down the wrong pipe, so right before you're supposed to talk is not the time for that to happen, so I'm just going to take a minute for a beverage. You folks at home do the same as Cape Fear goes back on the attack here. Well, we thought maybe there would be something there for Higgins on the near side, but foul called on Cape Fear, so it'll be a free kick now. This is Savannah West, the sophomore. Sierra Rayner battling with Monica Brown. Annis plays it into the box. Coming to her left, Kelsey Cruz. Will the Patriots attack be able to get going? They had trouble, even though they split last year with Cape Fear, they had trouble getting shots. 15 combined. Already some pushing and shoving between Brown and Rayner on the near side. And the official is going to settle everybody down. So free kick for the left back, Fitzpatrick. Correction, it was a throw. My apologies. Annis. Oh, beautiful ball. Here's Caps. Caps, can she get to it? And it was just a little too far forward still. Not a bad play by Janessa there. Talking to Ryan Adepa the other day. He's high on Janessa Annis, one of the players that he's recruited from New York, from the Buffalo? Nah, I wouldn't want to say Buffalo. Jamestown is where she's from, that area. And he said he's full throttle trying to get her somewhere. Excellent player who unfortunately was injured last year, but now back at 100% according to Coach Depa. Near side O'Neill. So far Cape Fear dominating possession. The 1-2 between O'Neill and Rayner. Rayner with the cross. And nothing happening there. I believe it was Higgins. And that's going to go off as it's cleared by Patrick Henry. So Annis is a player to keep your eyes on. We mentioned Higgins is the player of the week. So many players on both teams with just multiple goals, as both of these teams have put up numbers so big that it's hard to focus. But you see who's getting most of the touches here in the early going. And don't forget the depth of the Sea Devils. Ryan Depa's got a lot on his bench. According to Marty, C.J. Garvey is the best player on the field, and that's, of course, the keeper, who's not bad in her own right. Annis from the middle. She's got Higgins over on the far side. Higgins has some room. Higgins will get a shot and put it into the back of the net. Seventh minute. Carly Higgins, the player of the week, strikes again for the 10th time this season. And it's 1-0 in favor of the Cape Fear Sea Devils.
Number 14, Carly Higgins, freshman.
Beautiful ball, by the way, by Janessa Annis, who I believe will pick up the assist. You can follow along, by the way. Live stats are up and active on GoSeaDevils.com, so you can see the shots and who scored and what if you have to go in and out. So 1-0, Cape Fear, just underway here in minute 8. Patrick Henry's got all kinds of firepower, folks, so they can answer back quickly, but so far Cape Fear has dominated. Remember, though, still very early. Martin trying to make something happen, and that goes wide right. Anaya Martin, 6 goals, 3 assists, 15 points as she gets her first touch of the evening. So a goal kick now for C.J. Garvey. Cape Fear. They're going to have a week off after this one. Luckily for Ryan Deppa and Lynn Murphy, this game was able to go on without any trouble. Over on that far side, again, Martin trying to make something happen. Sanchez plays it back, and it's taken away. I believe that was Perry. It's hard to see the numbers, folks. I got a cheat sheet in front of me, but if I mistake somebody, again, that's what the YouTube chat's for. Don't be afraid to tell me I'm wrong. That was cleared out, or the pass went a little bit long for Patrick Henry, so the throw-in intended for Caps, taken back Fitzpatrick on the left side. Now a ball by Brown. For Cape Fear, it was Anderson making a play. Madison Boulder clears it out. Another throw for Brown here. Patrick Henry trailing 1-0 to Cape Fear. First broadcast on Sea Devil TV, I think 14 this year. We'll be back on the 23rd with the ladies and men. It's a day-night kind of a deal. One team's playing at noon and the other team is playing later that day, so we will have both of those for you on the 23rd. That's a Saturday. And then I believe one more women's game, maybe in October. You can go online, GoSeaDevils.com has all of the links and everything. Nifty play by Caps to herself. Plays it forward, Higgins. Higgins using her size, gaining control. Oh, that was beautiful. It's going to go too high, but that was a thing of beauty right there. How about the start for Carly Higgins, the freshman who played at Ashley High School here in Wilmington. Carly, 24 goals as a senior last year. Some teams don't score 24 in a year. Carly Higgins, 12th in the NJCAA in points. Well, she's got 21 now. She came in with 19. Second with 35 shots. 20 shots on goal, tied her for second. These stats compiled a couple of days ago, and was tied for 5th in goals with 9. She's got 10 now, as she scored in the 7th minute to make it 1-0. Assist by Annis on that. No trouble for Garvey there on that play. Patrick Henry's a school that I've got to see a lot in my 5+ years here in the Carolinas. Patrick Henry used to go to Asheville a lot and play at Warren Wilson. Back then, this was 4 or 5 years ago, that was a easy win usually for Warren Wilson. Patrick Henry has really come on. Credit Lynn Murphy for the job that she's done to build that program, as you see Sierra Rayner trying to make something out of nothing there, but it'll go behind. Again, folks, if you want to chat with us, you can be a part of today's broadcast. Don't make me do all the work. Use hashtag SeaDevilTV on Twitter. You can also chat with us on the YouTube chat if you're watching on your laptop, desktop. It's usually easiest way to chat on the YouTube chat. That's going to go out of play, I believe. It will. So a throw now for Melanie Anderson. Sydney Parker plays it to the near side, and that's going to go out of play. Anderson O'Neill trying to save the bad pass, but it'll be a throw now for Patrick Henry. Chelsea Ford. Fitzpatrick just trying to get forward with it. And that's going to go off Fitzpatrick. Nice play by Rayner to earn the throw for her team. Now Flincham. Oh, that was a pretty ball there from Martin. Over on that far side, it's played out by Higgins. Correction, Melanie Anderson, the left back over there, played that out, I believe. We have 2 more now on the YouTube chat. Apologies if I messed the name up. China Wilson, I believe. for C.J. Harvey as the best player on the field. I didn't know we were doing that, but why not? Let's have a vote. Who's the best player out on the field? Right now, it's 2-0 in favor of C.J. Garvey. Annis. Anderson. She's going to get there just barely. Now Parker. Cape Fear really limiting Patrick Henry's attack so far. Anderson O'Neill now. Part of the reason why the Sea Devils lead at 1-0. Mariner looking to cross. Oh, Higgins off her foot, and now just getting it out of there was Chelsea Ford. So it'll be a throw on the far side for Nina Perry. Perry traded one beach for the other. She's from the Outer Banks. Came here to Wilmington. Not, what, about 3.5 hour drive? How long does it take you to get you to Greenville? About 3 hours? 2 hours. You're driving too fast then. By the way, our camera person today, Karina Carbajal. Close, though. Who's one of those players who we'll see next year for the Sea Devils. Patrick Henry trying to make something happen now here. In the center, Sanchez, Monica Brown. And again, Cape Fear wins it back. How about that from Lauren Hatcher? Long run on the near side for Caps. Caps with an effort. Couple of hops. Kelsey Cruz makes the play. Amanda, by the way, speaking of Caps, wants to put her in the best player on the field running. I would say so. 5 goals, 3 assists, 13 points, and 8 of her 12 shots on goal so far this year for Cape Fear. On the near side, it's Sanchez. Patrick Henry trying to make something happen. They've been quiet, and Sanchez, that's going to go out of play. Great defense by Anderson O'Neill from that right back. You want your right back and your left back to be tough, and so far from what we've seen from O'Neill, she has been, as has Rayner. Believe we have our first sub for Patrick Henry. We'll tell you about who it is here in just a second. It's number 18. That's Maddie Burkhead. 2 goals and 4 points so far on the season. So she comes in for Chelsea Ford, one of the mids for Patrick Henry. They're in the 3-5-2 today. Annis plays it forward, too far forward, though, as Cruz comes to the top. Make a play on it. Yeah, so Aaron says the Outer Banks about a 4-hour drive. It's closer, obviously, to get to Greenville than the Outer Banks. It takes 2 hours just to get out of the Outer Banks. I know that because I lived in Kitty Hawk for about a year. I took, by the way, for you folks in that part of the state, I took and I know there's a lot of Virginia people who go to the Outer Banks too, so you'll be familiar with some of these places that we talk about. Took my girlfriend up there for the first time, and she loved driving over those bridges, especially we didn't come up through Virginia. We came up from Myrtle Beach, so off 64, where you've got like 3 or 4 different bridges with just beautiful water up there. Anyways, I digress. It's the 18th minute, 1-0 in favor of Cape Fear. 7th minute goal by Carly Higgins from Janessa Annis. Cape Fear so far in control. Nina Perry trying to get it to the aforementioned Higgins over on the far side. Patrick Henry winning it back. Martin's over on the right wing. Had it taken away. Again, Perry is there. Folks, just a note, we are streaming. This is not TV, and sometimes the internet doesn't cooperate. We had issues with that last year here. I'm not streaming in the best possible quality that I would like to in hopes that we won't have any issues. So far, we haven't had any issues, but should the broadcast go down, we will get it up for you as quickly as possible. You might need to refresh or sign out or go out and come back. But we'll try to lose as little as possible. Fingers crossed. So far, we've been okay. Long run there for Madison Boulder to center back. Annis. Carly Higgins keeps it in play. Goes right around the defender, Hampton. Leaves it in the middle. And we're going to have our second corner kick. So corner kick number 2 coming for Cape Fear. And again, I believe Nina Perry going out there. Perry on the season with a couple of assists, 4 points for the freshman. This Cape Fear team, talking to Ryan Deppa about their depth, and they just continue to build. I asked him, a lot of these players put up the kind of numbers that lead you to believe that they don't need to go JUCO. They can, I'm sure, had offers. That header goes in. It's deflected. Annis is going to get credit for it, and it's 2-0.
The header is good for Cape Fear. The Sea Devils score.
Janessa Annis,
Janessa Annis.
good karma. You set your teammates up, and then you get an opportunity. As Annis gets the header off the corner, it'll be an assist, I believe, for Nina Perry. We'll see how they score it, as I believe that ball was deflected, but not my call to make. So 2-0, Cape Fear. Looking strong here against Patrick Henry. We believed coming in that Patrick Henry was a better team even than last year when they split with Cape Fear. So it is an assist for Perry. And now Patrick Henry trying to answer right back.
The Patriots of Patrick Henry, 0.
The belief in soccer, if you're new to the sport, is that it's always easiest to score right after you've been scored upon. Not the way Cape Fear is playing defense today, though. 2-0 in favor of the Sea Devils. Carly Higgins looking to add to it now. Higgins leaves it. Perry with a little tap, but that'll be wide left. And again, you wonder how much of this Patrick Henry with their third game in 4 days. How much is it Cape Fear dominance? Probably a little bit of both so far. But, I mean, even when you're 18 and 19 playing that many games, big hit that time by Annis looking for her second. And it goes above the bar. Well, it looks like it's a race on the YouTube chat between Caps and Garvey for best player on the pitch. On the pitch or on the field, what do you prefer? Let's get another poll going. Goal kick now. That's Kelsey Cruz. I don't think Cruz has given up 2 all year. Again, we don't have specific numbers for the Patriots. But their keepers were outstanding as Madison Boulder sends it into the second row. Cape Fear 2, Patrick Henry 0. Fitzpatrick hit it right back. It just seems like there's a Sea Devil everywhere that the Patriots want to put the ball right now. Another new player for the Patriots is Hudson. Jessica Hudson, one of the freshmen, comes in at right back, I believe. So she's in for Emily Hampton. Cape Fear yet to make a sub here in this one, but don't worry, folks. We'll see a lot of players. Ryan Deppa's got a lot of size. That ball deflected, giving it a run, is Burkhead, and it's cleared out by Garvey. You see the time left on your screen here in the first half. 23rd minute. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a break. Perry wins it off the throw for Cape Fear. Over on that far side, Sanchez. Martin giving it a run. Getting there is Parker, and Parker I thought she was just going to clear, but Anderson was over there to make the play. Sanchez not giving up, though, as that ball's deflected off Cape Fear. Cape Fear again, they're off until next Tuesday, the 19th. They take on Lewisburg at 1:30 in the afternoon here in Wilmington. And then on the 21st, they go to USC Lancaster. Nice ball, and breaking free is Rayner. Rayner, a little tapper, and she missed it wide left. Wait a minute. Did they call a foul? It will be a penalty as Rayner got pushed from behind, and a yellow card for Savannah West. She can't believe it. Sierra Rayner will get 2 cracks at this now here in the 24th. Rayner, 1 goal and 6 assists on the season, trying to make it 2 goals. Kelsey Cruz standing a little more towards the left here. Here we go. Oh, it's blocked. Nice job by Cruz. Wow, what a play by the keeper. Still opportunity here for Cape Fear. Sea Devils trying to make something happen. Oh, poor Rayner. She missed twice. She had it on the breakaway. Defender closed, knocked her down, got hit with a yellow, and then missed the penalty kick in the box. She'll throw it in now for the Sea Devils. Trying to make a play is Higgins. And that's cleared out by Flincham. So corner kick number 3 on the near side. Sierra Rayner will take it. Chris Sheeman, glad to be with you. It's 2-0 in favor of the Sea Devils. Our first Sea Devil TV broadcast of the 17-18 year. We'll have 14 of them for you, including this one. It looks like they're going to stop the clock here in minute 25 as Fitzpatrick is shaken up for Patrick Henry. So we'll have a corner kick, but first we're going to take a quick break. We'll come right back. There you see our next broadcast, the 23rd. It's a doubleheader. The men against USC Sumter at noon and the women against Wake Tech at 6:30. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you. 2-0 in favor of Cape Fear as Sierra Rayner comes out to take the corner kick. Ellie Fitzpatrick, unfortunately, helped off the field for Patrick Henry, so hopefully she'll be okay. Here in the 25th minute. Again, folks, use the hashtag CDevilTV. You can also chat with us on the YouTube. Pretty much it's been a battle between who's the best player, CJ Garvey or Elena Capps. I'd put, can I vote? I would put Carly Higgins in there as well. And I've liked what I've seen from Annis here today, too. Just missed the header, did Higgins that time, and it's cleared behind. So we're going to go to the other side, and Nina Perry will take the corner kick. We've got folks up in Raleigh watching, and from Clinton. So hi to everybody who's been chatting. Caps took it short. I believe that's Martin over on the far side who tried to gain possession there, but it was taken back. Carson Hood in for the first time for Cape Fear, I believe, replacing... who'd she replace? I'm not sure, but she's there. Either Hood or Perry, but I think they're both still out there. Either way, Hood making an immediate impact as she's been around the ball both times that she's had an opportunity. Touch that out of bounds, though. Candace Freeman coming in for Patrick Henry. She'll throw it in, so Freeman in. Nice ball by Martin. Over on that far side, chasing it down is McCall. And that'll go behind for a corner kick. So last touch by the Sea Devils, and this is the first for Patrick Henry. So the Patriots, who were fifth, coming in with 38 corners in 5 games, taking their first here. That ball's headed by Annis. Staying with it over on the far side is Sanchez. And offside flag is up. So goal kick now for Cape Fear. Sea Devils 2, Patrick Henry 0 in the 7th minute. Carly Higgins from Janessa Annis. Then Annis from Nina Perry off a corner kick headed it in to make it 2-0. That was in the 20th minute. Long run over on that left side for Annis, who tried to make a play on it. Was cleared out by Hampton. Correction, Savannah West with the clear. Carly Higgins trying to cross it in. There's really nobody there, though, and Kelsey Cruz makes the easy play. Hey, Sierra Rayner had a chance to make it 3-0 for Cape Fear twice. She had a breakaway and then got pushed down, and she took the shot. She missed it wide left, then had a penalty kick, but as our friend Nancy on the YouTube chat says, great technique. Kelsey Cruz made a beautiful stop to keep her team in it. But they've got to start getting on the attack here. Hood had trouble with it, and I think it might have benefited Cape Fear. Annis. Lauren Hatcher playing it in. Patrick Henry having it momentarily there as Flincham tried to make a run of it. Nothing doing so far. See if Martin can get it going. 6 goals, 3 assists on the season as she leaves it for the center. That was Brown. Now back to Martin. Martin plays it in, and Garvey makes the stop. Minute 29. You see the time left here in half number 1. Sea Devils have been in control for most of this one. Will they get another Region 10 crown? Ryan Deppa, who also coached, by the way, up in New York. He coached in high school and at the JUCO level. I mentioned around that Jamestown area. That's why Janessa Annis is here, because he played against her. And now it's a breakaway. Here is Higgins, the player of the week, and it's just wide right. So a little bit off the mark from Carly as she was looking for her second of the night. But it remains 2-0 and a goal kick to come. And it looks like Carly might get a breather. She will, and I'm trying to figure out who's in for her. Oh, it's Elena Capps who's come back in. So Capps is back out there, and that was the missing player when Hood came back in. C.J. Garvey. Cape Fear looking like a well-oiled machine already here in the 5th game of the season with a lot of freshmen on the team. Looks like we're going to get a free kick. Hi to, Tyler wants to shout out our camera girl. Tyler Hubbard. Is this somebody you know? Or is this some creep? I know him. Okay, you know him? Yep. Is he a creep, though? No. Why don't you go ahead before the free kick, just real quickly wave to Tyler in front of the camera there. Just go ahead. Put your hand. There she is. Okay, Tyler. There you go. Free kick was taken by Patrick Henry. It's like Pee-wee's Playhouse meets sports broadcasting right here tonight at Legion Stadium. Chris Shima, glad to be with you. Our first of 14. We've got two more women's matches to bring you. Nina Perry with a good run. Nina Perry blocked, but Caps is there to clean it up. 31st minute, and it's 3-0. Well, I mean, what do you do if you're Cruz in that situation? She made another beautiful save, but Caps was right there off the deflection, and for Elena Caps, it's 6 goals, 3 assists now on the season for the forward and the sophomore from Clinton, who I know is probably going to get more votes now for best player out there. I don't think we're going to get to see the way this defense is playing in front of CJ, and I'm sure she's very happy about that, but CJ Garvey has not been challenged. She can get herself a lawn chair and a magazine so far and just have herself a lemonade and relax. It's been all Cape Fear here today. This has really been surprising, too. The way Patrick Henry was putting up numbers. Of course, we've got the stats going on GoSeaDevils.com that you can follow along with. I mean, so far, 1 shot for Patrick Henry. 1 shot. This is a team that averaged 42.2. That's per game, folks. They've got 1. Cape Fear's defense might be better than last year. And that's saying a lot. This team won Region 10 tournament last year, went to the national tournament in Florida. A lot of great sophomore leadership from that team last year is gone, but these freshmen, including sophomores like Caps, have been mixing very nicely. It seems like good chemistry, too. You talk about chemistry in a lot of sports, and if you're in a baseball stadium, and if you're in a baseball dugout and you don't like each other, that's one thing, but you can go out there and hit a baseball. You don't need to like your teammates for that. But when you're talking basketball and you're talking soccer, and there has to be movement, and there has to be understanding and trust and confidence in each other, you need good chemistry. And that's one of the things Ryan Deppa, in addition to being blessed with a ton of talent, has been able to bring to the Sea Devils side over the last several years, as that was a wicked hit on Monica Brown, who's down. Certainly not intentional, but Brown really took a shot there. Luckily, she bounces right back up, so that's good news. We've talked about the Sea Devils. They're off for a week. Patriots finally get a break. They don't have to play again until Sunday when they host USC Lancaster up in Virginia. They also host Spartanburg on the 20th. So things will slow down a little bit, Patriots fans. They have been on the march this past week. Game number 3 in 4 days. They're trying to get on the march defensively, but guess who? Nina Perry is there, the midfielder taking it away. And that'll be hit out by Brown. Hi to Angela. Angela Miners, Patrick Henry fan. That's right. It's a Sea Devils broadcast, but we welcome everybody. Unfortunately, not going right for the Patriots. Fortunately, though, for the Sea Devils. Chelsea Ford trying to make a play, get it over to Martin on that far side. Again, Cape Fear able to get it out of there. I forgot, and it's just a bonehead move on my part. I wanted to ask Ryan how Patrick Henry was able to win despite it was dominance last year up in Patrick Henry. Cape Fear just couldn't find the back of the net. 35th minute now, we're going to have more subs. Coming back in is Carly Higgins. And Abby Setzer checking in for the first time, the freshman from Hickory. A lot of players in state for Ryan Deppa, too, and that's one of the things we talked about the other day. How good is women's soccer at every single level, from 4-year-olds or however young it is that they play, all the way up to the pros here in North and South Carolina. Really, it's both states. Just so much talent. You know, North Carolina, they've been good for since Title IX has been around. They've been good. Duke's come on. You've got South Carolina, but what we talked about was at the high school level. A lot of these girls that you're seeing playing in just their 5th collegiate game look like seasoned veterans, and that's because, according to Ryan Deppa, that there's a lot of high school coaches in the state of North Carolina especially that are so good that they could be college coaches. So you recruit these players and they come in and they're ready. They don't have any of that high school funk to wash off of them. They don't have any bad habits. They're polished, they're seasoned, and a lot of it, oh, this is a bad ball. Opportunity here. Carly Higgins has got a lot of room, and she's got Caps running with her on the far side. Higgins takes it herself right at Cruz. Nice stop by Kelsey Cruz again. Oh, she is not happy. No magazine and lemonade for her. She's been under the gun here today. 37th minute, 3-0 Cape Fear, but Kelsey Cruz is a big reason why it could be 4 or 5-0 at this point, had it not been a couple of nice plays from her. That ball too far to the side for Candace Freeman. Boulder. It was deflected, and Annis was ready for it. Rainer trying to get it ahead, and that will go out of play. Another sub for Patrick Henry as Maddie Tingen, sorry we weren't able to call her name, she comes out after playing briefly here in this opening half. 38th minute now. You see the time left until halftime. We'll take a break at the half, as I mentioned. Neja Sanchez coming back in. First touch for Abby Setzer. Plays it to the far side now. Cheyenne Floyd also on with a good run. Plays it in. 3 defenders are there as Rainer tried to get around him. Over on that far side, Nina Perry. Annis has played well in this first half. A goal and an assist for her. For Annis, she's now with 5 goals, 3 assists. Again, a player who was injured last year. She did have a goal against Patrick Henry last year. She wasn't injured the whole year last year, but back at 100%. Just to finish the story from about 10 minutes ago, Ryan Deppa coaching in high school against Annis up in New York. Annis from Frewsburg, I believe I have that right, New York. That Jamestown area is an area that I know because I had 2 road trips when I worked for a college in Ohio around Jamestown. And both times it was in a driving blizzard. They get a lot of lake effect snow there. You're talking over 100 inches at least. That's a slow year probably for the Jamestown area. Home of Lucille Ball, too. But it's treacherous driving around there. Thought Patrick Henry was going to get something going here, but the defense, again, able to clear. Hatcher, I believe, made the initial block. Correction, I was way off. Sydney Parker, I believe, is out there. It's hard to see the numbers, folks. I apologize in advance for that. Over on that far side, Martin trying to make a turn, and it goes out of play. Patrick Henry still with 1 shot in the match. That's shocking to me. Caps leaves it on the far side. Carly Higgins, that's going to be cleared out by Brown. So Nina Perry will throw it in. Caps on a couple of hops. Cruz makes the play on it. Chris Sheeman, glad to be with you here for our first broadcast of the new year. Temperature today was about 83. The sun is obviously gone now, but it's still pretty soupy. We had that tropical storm. What was left of Irma came up and paid us a visit yesterday. Man, the wind was unbelievable. Again, Carly Higgins. Higgins with a nice move and a shot. Too much on it, though, as that went just wide to the right. So 41st minute, and it remains 3-0. We've had, I've been in the Carolinas now for about 5 years, 6 years, and we've had at least 2 or 3 tropical storms every year. Tropical storms, usually not a big deal, as Sydney Park, who is that? Is that Sydney? That's Skylar Gialotti, who's come on for the first time, the freshman from Mooresville. Tropical storm is usually no big deal. I moved during a tropical storm one year. I moved. That was part of my day. So they're usually not big and scary, but what was left of Irma, as you see the shot by Perry go out of play, that brought some howling wind here to this area, and a lot of rain too, but it was like this driving rain. Some places down by where I live in Myrtle Beach flooded. But for the most part, we were unscathed, and this field looks great. You couldn't tell that we got probably 3 or 4 inches of rain yesterday by the way the field looks, and it left Wilmington a little bit later than everywhere else around here. Some of the outer bands kind of hung on. Oh, that's going to be a trip, as Annis was trying to go forward. And are we going to get a card? What? They called it on Patch. They called it on Cape Fear. Mercy. They're showing a mercy. So Chloe McCall will take the kick. Hi to Aaron. Good analysis on the YouTube chat. Spacing and balance for Cape Fear. That gives them the opportunities to maintain possession. Very true, Aaron. And that goes back to what we were talking about with communication and understanding. And there's a template now here at Cape Fear. We're starting now to see it with the men's team, who struggled over the last couple of years. But the men's team just lost to Richard Bland, who's very good. It was a first place on the line kind of a thing, although it's way too early to be talking about stuff like that. But that was the scenario. Sierra Rayner. Flag is down. Carly Higgins with the run. Higgins flips it into the back of the net. The player of the week strikes again. Minute 44. She scores again to make it 4-0 Cape Fear.
Assist by number 18,
Sierra Rayner with a good ball to pick up the assist. Sierra Rayner in the top 10 in the NJCAA in assists. She's now got 7 Carly Higgins, the local product, is putting on a show here in the early going for Cape Fear. Boy, if you're Patrick Henry, what do you do in the locker room? You have been punched in the gut. I gotta think Patrick Henry did not think this is how it was going to go. Martin stays with it. It's still alive. Martin, it's an empty net, but she leaves it short. Oh, boy, that was dangerous. I believe it was deflected, so we'll get a corner kick here, approaching minute 45. Hi to Sharna, who's another Patrick Henry fan. Chelsea Ford, I'm being told, is from Australia. Is that correct? A lot of these schools do get foreign players Australia, so their women's soccer is very strong too, as that corner kick was hit off of Ford, but they say Cape Fear touched at last, so back-to-back corners here for Patrick Henry. Patriots trying to get some momentum going into the locker room here. Ball still active, and it's cleared. One back already by Cape Fear. They're trying to dribble it out here. Head into the locker room now. Sanchez and Martin. And they're just going to run up against the clock here. So the Patriots run out of time. It's all Cape Fear after 45 minutes of play. It's the Sea Devils 4, Patrick Henry 0. Just to give you a quick scoring recap, Carly Higgins from Janessa Annis in the 7th minute. Then in the 20th minute, it was Janessa Annis on a header from Nina Perry off the corner kick to make it 2-0. Elena Capps in the 31st made it 3-0, and Carly Higgins did it again just a minute ago in the 44th. 4-0 at halftime. Folks, we'll go away for about 15 minutes, come back and bring you the second half play-by-play right after this. You're watching Cape Fear Women's Soccer here on Sea Devil TV. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you. We're at Legion Stadium, 4-0 in favor of Cape Fear as we start the second half. Patrick Henry in the dark blue and Cape Fear in the sky blue. Shots 19-2 in favor of Cape Fear CC. 10 shots on goal, none so far for Patrick Henry. 4-3 corners in favor of the Sea Devils, and 7-2 the fouls also in favor of Cape Fear. Goals, 2 for Carly Higgins so far in this match. Janessa Annis with 1, Caps with another one as well. So 4-0 dominating first 45 minutes as Perry skies it over the crossbar. What's most surprising is the defense, the way that Cape Fear has been able to just muscle Patrick Henry's attack into submission. This is, if you're just joining us, a Patriots team that averages over 42 shots per game coming in the play today. They have 2. Big reason why is Carly Higgins, who you see there. Carly Higgins sends it in off the cross. Trying to make a play on it was Flincham. It's a shot, but Perry just a little bit off the mark on that left side. This really didn't come into play in the first half, but since we're probably going to be on this side a lot in the second half, we've got a little bit of a blind spot over in the far left corner. So if there's a corner kick or if there's action over there, I'll describe it to you. And not much we could do, just the vantage point where we have to set up for the broadcast. Overall, though, this is a beautiful facility. If you're not familiar, I know there's a lot of freshman families, brothers, sisters, moms, dads, grandpas, uncles, whatever, that might have not had a chance to come here yet. Make a trip. It's a great stadium that used to house the Wilmington Hammerheads, who were the PDL professional team here in Wilmington for so many years, and this city got ripped off, just absolutely ripped off when they took them away. They still have the Hammerheads. They've moved down a tier in the soccer pyramid, so they're an amateur club now, and they're still well worth supporting, and this city has, of course, done that, but it just stinks that, first of all, they took away the Hammerheads to move the team to Baltimore, supposedly. Well, that team never happened. So what are you doing then? Anyways, Cape Fear's played here for a number of years as well, and it's a great facility. So if you've got the chance to, come on out, check it out. Looks like we got a throw for Patrick Henry. Hang on here. They called a foul. So foul on Cape Fear. So free kick for Patrick Henry. My apologies. A lot to do in this town, too. Big hit, but right at the keeper, off the foot from Annis, who's looking for her second goal. And a save by, I believe, Cruz is still out there. And I believe C.J. Garvey is still out there. Hang on now. Karina, I may need your help with this. Is it Kennedy Green now who's in front of that? Okay, so C.J. Garvey's day is done. So Kennedy Green is now in at keeper. And again, this is how Ryan Deppett has done this through the first now 5 matches. So Kennedy Green, the sophomore, 4 games, 170 minutes, 1.06 goals against average. She stopped 82% of the shots that she has faced. So that, I believe, is the only change. The only change is Green, number 19, is in. Well, the ball has been in the Patrick Henry box for just about the entire match. Cape Fear pushing forward again. Skylar Gialotti, I believe, getting the start as well over on the far side of your screen. So Gialotti is in on the right wing. We'll tell you about any other changes that we see as well. Lauren Hatcher at center back. Looking around for any other changes as well. Again, we'll bring you to them. We'll bring you those as much as we can. Cape Fear, 4 goals in that first half. Patrick Henry, I mean, they've still more than capable of getting themselves back in it. They've got the firepower to do so. You're talking about a team with 26 goals already in 5 games. But this has been a dominating performance by Cape Fear. And they're going to get a foul called on Sierra Rayner over on that far side. Again, folks, you can use the hashtag CDevilTV on Twitter. We've heard from a number of folks, I should say, who's chatting with us on YouTube. You can chat along if you want to do that. Try to catch once in a while the chat, but obviously also trying to watch some of the game too. Just about 7 minutes in here in this second half, 52nd minute. Free kick into the box. That'll be headed out. I believe it was Bolden making a play on that. Long ball and a long run for Carly Higgins. She will not be able to get there, so we'll have another throw for Patrick Henry. Emily Hampton, the freshman, with the throw. Nina Perry gets it forward. Rayner to Higgins. Carly. Here's Annis. Defender comes from behind. What a play by Candace Freeman, the freshman, making a nice clear of it and getting it out of play. 2 players coming in for Cape Fear and 1 for the Patriots. I believe it's Burkhead for Patrick Henry. Caps is back out there for Cape Fear. And somebody else we'll tell you about as soon as we can. Could be Sydney Parker. So Sydney Parker's back out there as well. Thank you to Karina. Karina on camera with us today. One of those players on this deep roster for the Sea Devils who redshirt because of an injury, but we'll see her next year. Oh, how about that? That ball was delivered with a lot of gusto on it, and again, Kelsey Cruz is there. I believe it's Kelsey Cruz who's still out there. Yeah, I see the number 17. Higgins! Oh, great block. I'll tell you what, I feel bad for her because she's been under the gun, but I've loved watching her make those saves. Great reflexes, the timing for the keeper, Kelsey Cruz. Corner kick now on the near side. It will be taken by Nina Perry. Perry assisted on 1 corner kick already here tonight. Oh boy, Higgins tried to scissor kick it in the air. Patrick Henry, nice job on defense this time to get it out of harm's way as you see it roll towards the stands. It'll be a Cape Fear throw here for Perry. That ball deflected. Cruz had to make a play on it. '55th minute, and it's 4-0 in favor of Cape Fear. Brown's trying to change that over on the far side. And looks like Green will knock that away, but Patriots trying to make something happen there. Nothing doing off the ball from Freeman. That ball played forward, too far forward, though, and the center back Hudson for Patrick Henry. There's Perry. Leaves it in. Higgins, the hat trick. Nope. Wait. That was a late whistle. I thought she might be off, and the flag is up, but that was very late. So, offside the call. Never mind, folks. No hat trick, or at least not yet. Carly Higgins has knocked on the door more than a few times. She's got 2 goals already. Free kick. Burkhead trying to make something happen. Again, Patrick Henry's kind of dropped back. I get the feeling, and Patriots fans on YouTube can certainly speak up, but I get the feeling that this is not the usual way that they play. They're trying to limit the damage at this point. It's been a long day for Patrick Henry and a long week. All of these games on the road, 3 and 4 days. That cross headed, and it's a goal, I believe. Do they say no? It is a goal, so just moments later, I believe it was Higgins who scored. We're going to check on it, but that ball was headed off the crossbar, and it bounced in the net. Remember, it has to be over that line, even if it bounces over that crossbar. I had either way, it's going to be 5-0, and I believe it's a hat trick now for the player of the week who's living up to it. 56th minute. And another goal for Carly Higgins. Am I right about that? Is it Carly? I believe it was Carly Higgins. So that's who I'm going with, folks. So you got the YouTube. You can go back and fast forward and pause and do all that great stuff with this live broadcast. So if you want to go back and take a look, you can tell us. Throw in by Sanchez. One back by Perry. 5-0 for Cape Fear. I mean, this is quite a performance. Cape Fear, in the preseason poll, were 18th. They've moved up to 12th in the first poll released today by the NJCAA. They're also 12th in the coaches poll. Putting on a show here in, I believe, their 3rd home game of the season. That's going to roll. Picked up by Green for the Sea Devils. We saw C.J. Garvey in the first half, and now it's Kennedy Green, who's a sophomore from here in Wilmington. Perry, that's going to go out of play. 58th minute. Patrick Henry, I mentioned it in the first half. Their 3rd game in 4 days. All have been on the road. They won 8-0 against Regent on Saturday. We mentioned Cape Fear's next opponent Tuesday, right back here at Legion Stadium, is Lewisburg. It's an afternoon game at 1:30. Well, Patrick Henry beat Lewisburg 3-0 and outshot them 22-3. So that tells you what the expectations are for next Tuesday if you're Cape Fear. Patrick Henry opened the season winning 9-0 against Hollins. Their lone loss to Spartanburg. Spartanburg's always got a lot of tough athletic programs up there in the upstate. Higgins. That ball I believe Caps was trying to play it over to Rayner, and just a little bit off. 59th minute. All Cape Fear here tonight. Mentioned how many local products there are for the Sea Devils. Local, I mean in state. There are a few players from Wilmington, certainly, who have suited up for Cape Fear. And we started talking kind of briefly in the first half about all of the talent in the Carolinas from top to bottom in women's soccer. I mean, the West Coast is really good. You've got the Washington States and California's a great place for women's soccer, but for my bet, it's the Carolinas, the best in the country at least the high school and collegiate levels. Northeast is pretty good too. Up in the Boston area, there's a lot of good soccer being played up there on the ladies' side. But I asked Ryan Deppa when we talked earlier this week, why are these players coming here? Not why are you a good recruiter or not? But like I mentioned in the first half, as we have an injury here on the Patriots, I believe it's Martin, so they're going to stop the clock, and I'll finish my thought hopefully in the next 5 minutes. I asked him, some of these players have the talent, the ability to maybe go D2 or NAI or even D1 in some cases, and Ryan kind of summed up what I already thought, my hypothesis for why players come to JUCO schools, and it's a hodgepodge of things. Ryan said bluntly, some of them just want to go to the beach. They want to be by the beach, and the facilities here are good. You've got a culture of winning here that's good, so it makes sense to go to a 2-year school if you can get to the beach in 20 minutes, if you can play for a winning team, if you can have a chance to get some hardware. Well, you hate to see this as we talk. Anaya Martin being helped off. That's one of their best attackers for the Patriots, so hopefully she'll be okay, as the Patriots will be off until Sunday. So you've got all of those things at play. The Cape Fear itself appeal. You've got a decent campus that's in downtown Wilmington, so you've got the boardwalk, and not insinuating anything, but you've got you've got places to go on a Friday and Saturday night if you're in college right there in downtown Wilmington. You've also got a lot lower of a bill for your parents or for yourself for your financial debt. He said it's something like $2,600 to go to school at Cape Fear. He also mentioned, some players were injured in high school, and so they come to a JUCO like Cape Fear to play and rebuild and kind of get in front of coaches at bigger schools. But not everybody is here for that reason, including some of the very talented players that you see. Deppa also mentioned that, some of the players are here to get a 2-year degree and get to work. They want to play 2 more years, and they want to get a degree and go get a job. There's a lot of really good programs at Cape Fear that will get you right into the workforce. And so there's a lot of reasons why you see some of the talented players and you see, God, how did all these D1s, D2s, NAIAs pass up on all of these kids? Well, it's not as simple as that. It's about the situation and what's right for you. And sometimes what's right for you is not always D1. This player, if she wants to, can have a shot at D1. Carly Higgins looking for her 4th. Now it's going to be blocked. Cape Fear staying with it, though, as Rayner got a hit on it. Another save made by Cruz. 5-0. Carly Higgins, by the way, did officially in the stats get credited with that goal, so a hat trick for Carly. Higgins came in with 9 goals. She's up to 12 goals in 5 games. I mentioned she had 24 last year in her senior year at high school. Will she top that this year, here in her first year in college? My goodness. And if you're Ryan Deppa, you get her again next year. Janessa Annis also playing very well in the first half. We haven't seen her as much in the second half as Deppa's brought in some subs, but here in the 62nd minute, it's been those two players who have really been the star of the show here tonight for Cape Fear. They're well on their way to 5-0 and improving to 2-0 in Region 10 play. We do have another sub. Anderson O'Neill, the left back, checking back in for the Sea Devils. And apologies to the fans, to the families, to the friends of the defenders of Cape Fear. Higgins looks for number 4 on the header that goes just wide. She had, 9 goals, did I say, coming into play today? Trying to get 9 here tonight. Another new player coming in for Cape Fear. I believe it's Rayner who's checking out. And Kayla Acuna, we believe, coming in, the freshman from Kinston, North Carolina. We'll let you know for sure if we're incorrect, but I believe that is Kayla Acuna over on the far side of your screen. What can Patrick Henry get going here? This is the first time they've been on this side of the field in quite a while. And the Patriots, that pass off the mark. Out on the run is Nina Perry, looking as fresh as she did in the first minute. Good defense over on that right side from Hudson, the defender for Patrick Henry. Again, the shot's 26-2 in favor of Cape Fear. Minute 64. Look out. That's goal number 6, I believe. Caps. The referee over on the far side was watching, and he made the signal. So Elena Caps gets her second. 65th minute, and it's 6-0 in favor of Cape Fear.
Cape Fear goal is good by Elena Caps. Picks up the 6th goal for the Sea Devils in the contest.
So Elena Caps, 7 goals now on the season.
Elena Caps gets number 6. Your score now 6-0 here with 25:54 remaining in the second half.
I'm running out of things to say, folks. This is just dominating. We really thought, I mean, these two teams played each other so close last year, even though the shots last year in both matches were in favor of Cape Fear by a landslide. Still, Patrick Henry and Cape Fear split last year. I don't know who's beating Cape Fear this year. Of course, Spartanburg's always good. They're right back at it now. Carly Higgins for number 4. Whew. 65th minute.
7-0 now. Cape Fear Community College.
7-0 Cape Fear. So, if it wasn't out of hand before, ladies and gentlemen, it's out of hand right now. This Cape Fear team will improve to 5-0, 2-0 in region play. Carly Higgins, player of the week last week. 9 goals in her first 4 games. She's got almost half of them, half of that number here tonight. 4 more goals for Carly Higgins. What a showing. I mean, Cape Fear's had a lot of blowout victories in the last 3 years under Ryan Deppa, as that shot was deflected and Cruz able to make a play on it after the shot by Caps. But I think this is one that's going to stand out. It's not their biggest win yet. Remember, they beat Stratford to start the season 9-1. They've now scored over 4 goals in all 5 matches. And if you're Patrick Henry, just let's get this clock moving and let's warm up the bus and get our pizza and get out of here, because this is just a miserable day. I've been on the opposite side of these days as and I put this in severe quotation, bold the quotation marks, athlete in my day. I know what it's like out there for those girls, and it's miserable. It's just absolutely miserable. My soccer team was so bad. This is true. I'm not making this up. Our coach quit. He just stopped showing up to the games, and we couldn't play without a coach, so we had to forfeit. And those were our best losses, those forfeits. We got it was 11-0 one game. It was 13-0 the other game. And the coach quit on us. That's why I'm a broadcaster. Players who can't play coach. Players who can't play or can't coach are broadcasters. That's the way it works. That's how we get our jobs. We can't do anything. 67th minute, and this is good news here for the Patriots. Anaya Martin's going to come back in. That's great news. It looks like Carly Higgins' day might be done as Rayner checks back in for her. I mean, why not? 4 goals for Carly. I'm sure she's got a lot of family here, too, being from Wilmington. We were talking earlier in this second half about, why do players go JUCO if they've got the talent to play somewhere else? And, we've made the case why at least Ryan Deppa, for his team, why that works out, and a lot of it is individual preference. But how about that? That was shifty by Annis there. It was cleared out, but she almost fooled him. Erin saying that, she was surprised by how beautiful Cape Fear's campus was when they visited during the Port City Classic, which kicked off the season for the Sea Devils. They spend a lot of time with their athletes. It's a great. I've bounced around a lot, and I told Ryan Mantlow, the athletic director, that when I came here last year, I said, "This is where I want to be. I hope you know." It looks like we're going to get another change at goalie. Is C.J. Garvey coming back out there? Oh, yeah, correction. Sorry about that. It's Anna Fincham, I believe, who's coming in to give Kelsey Cruz, put her out of her misery. I mean, this 7-0 result has nothing to do with Kelsey Cruz. She did all she could, folks. She is a terrific keeper, and I enjoyed watching her play. I mean, timing, skill, technique, she's got all of it. It's just, you're going up against a juggernaut here, folks, and that's all there is to it. So Anna Flincham checking in. But just to finish that thought, Ryan took over as AD a few years ago, and this was a strong programs, I should say, before that. And Ryan's been the men's coach for a long time, and it takes that kind of commitment. It's nice to see, a lot of times coaches will use these positions to move on to bigger and better things, and you can't blame people for that, certainly, but it's been nice to see the steadfast, the consistency here at Cape Fear that gives people like me who want to work and help promote it, the confidence to know that, okay, these people are going to be here and they want to be here, and they believe in what they're doing. Long shot, difficult effort, but Anderson O'Neill says, why not? 71st minute, it's 7-0. I'm trying it from 40 yards out. Over on that far side, Cheyenne Floyd's come in from Burlington, North Carolina. Yes, that's where they have the coats, I believe. That's in the kind of in between Greensboro and the Triangle, Raleigh-Durham area. Over on that far side, Acuna battling, and who touched it last? It went off Acuna. Nope, hang on. The official raises the flag. Hi to Melissa, who is the aunt of Elena Caps. 2 goals for Elena today. Next time she comes over, Aunt Melissa, make sure she gets the big piece of chicken because she deserved it. She earned it. More subs. Lonnie Anderson's back out there for Cape Fear. I'll try to get you caught up on who's all out there so we can get everybody's name mentioned. Patrick Henry, I believe, subbed a little bit too. Savannah West has come on for Patrick Henry, number 7. On the near side, Candace Freeman. That's played boom forward by Sanchez. Number 16, Maddie Tingen, also out there, the sophomore with 2 assists on the season. Chelsea Ford, who you saw get a touch, as well as Kelsey Cruz. Wait a minute, is that Kelsey Cruz the keeper? She's got number 17 on, I believe. I'll double check on that, folks. Abby Setzer out there for Cape Fear. On one hop, making the play for the Sea Devils. That's Kennedy Green, the keeper. Melissa said she got her Twinkies. Only when you're 18, 19, 20 can you eat Twinkies as an athlete, and that's fine. Over on the far side, here's Acuna with a good run. Acuna's got 2 goals on the season. That's what I mean when I talk about the depth. Acuna is not a starter, but she's got 4 points. She's got a penalty kick to her credit this year. 74th minute. You see the time left on your screen. Patrick Henry and Cape Fear. Glad I could bring this one to you guys. Thanks for chatting on YouTube. It's been fun interacting with everybody. As always, we'll be doing this again on the 23rd for you Sea Devils fans. Sub for Patrick Henry is McCall's back out there, replacing Freeman. Menina Perry. Hood also out there for the Sea Devils. Carson Hood, I mentioned, from Kinston. Abby Setzer playing it forward, and that'll be too far. So a goal kick to come. Skylar Giolotti, we believe, is also out there. Is there anybody we haven't seen yet? I don't believe so. We haven't seen Ava John. And that might be it. So she might even be hurt. We don't know. Another throw for Cape Fear over on that far side. 75th minute. I'd like to get the opinion of those of you on YouTube, and if you want to tweet it using the hashtag CDevilTV, you can do that too. But tell me what you think about the clock in college, because I think it's ridiculous. Nowhere else do they have the clock like this. Everybody counts up. Nina Perry really trying to get one. Hit it into the back of the defender. Now Hatcher plays it back. Over on that right side, Anderson. And it's off her, so a throw for Patrick Henry. If it's soccer, the clock goes up, and it shouldn't stop for little things that they stop it for in college, and I don't know why that rule exists. Only, it seems like, in college. High school does it too, but high school's a whole nother ball game altogether. Sierra Rayner taking it away. Rayner goes to the far side, and she'll play it in, but that'll be wide to the right. Another sub for Cape Fear as Ryan Deppa shuffles them in and shuffles them out. Anderson O'Neill will leave. And Carly Higgins comes back in. So we thought her day was done. Also, Ava John out there. So that was our last remaining piece of the puzzle. There is Seth. Seth, who's Anderson's brother. He's up in Fayetteville, watching in his dorm at Methodist University in Fayetteville. So hi to Seth. Folks have been chatting with us on YouTube. Appreciate that. Thanks to everybody for checking in. I'm sorry if I missed a few of you, but it's been fun chatting with you. We're going to wrap this up as soon as the clock hits 0, folks, so I'll give you a quick little recap as we start to wind down. But if you're just joining us, you can follow the stats along at GoSeaDevils.com. All the stats are right there, and they're all heavily in favor of Cape Fear here today. It's been quite a performance. No shots so far for Patrick Henry here in this second half. None. It's a team that averaged 42.2 coming in. They've got 2 here in minute 78. None of them, or neither of those 2, were on goal either. So Cape Fear off until next week. On the 19th, they're back here at Legion Stadium to take on Lewisburg at 1:30 in the afternoon. On the 21st, they're at USC Lancaster. That'll be a 4 p.m. game in South Carolina. And then the 23rd, they take on Wake Tech. That's one of our next broadcasts. We'll broadcast our first men's game that afternoon at noon, and then we'll have the Wake Tech game at 6:30. Patrick Henry will throw it in here. Freeman on the far side. And that is going to be cleared into the stands. Just a couple of people over there. There were better crowds. Well, we only did one soccer game last year. There were better crowd. There was a pretty significant crowd last year. I believe it was the last home game, which was part of the reason why. But still a pretty good turnout here today, given that there were storms. A lot of people are dealing with a lot of stuff. There have been floods in this area before Irma came about, and a lot of the rivers are up, and it's been a rough one. We've had a couple of years where we've been beat up pretty good in this area the last couple of years. South Carolina the last 2 years, and that's where I lived. I mean, we got something like 16 inches of rain 2 years ago, and then Hurricane Matthew last year really tore up both parts of the Carolinas, and Irma did some damage to pretty much the rest of the South this year, so we're all covered. But the crowd is bigger than I expected it to be. Let's put it that way. I believe that is Kelsey Cruz out there in that left wing position for Patrick Henry. Boitnott also out there. Brittany Boitnott, 2 goals so far on the season for the sophomore, as both teams have emptied out the bench as we go inside 80th minute Less than 10 to play here at Legion Stadium. Well, Aaron said that the refs prefer the countdown if they're not going to have stoppage time. Well, that's my point. They should have stoppage time. They should just do it the way soccer is meant to be done. There should always be extra time, and it looks like we have a Sea Devil shaken up. Is it Rayner? Sierra Rayner is down, so while she's attended to, we will take our final break here today, and we'll come right back. Well, not a great sign, and you hate to see it this late here in a blowout, but Sierra Rayner being helped off, and like I said, Cape Fear does have a full week off, so fingers crossed that we'll get to see Sierra next week. Back in fresh as a daisy, but right now she's going to be looked at, so fingers crossed for her. 9:18 left to play here in minute 81, 7-0 in favor of Cape Fear. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you. A dominating performance by Cape Fear, certainly their best win of the season. These are teams that met last year, and Cape Fear won 3-0 last year, lost 2-0 at Patrick Henry, and don't forget they'll play each other again. So there's a whole lot of stewing that Patrick Henry can do, and they should come out motivated when these two teams meet at home later on this year. Get you the date on that when that rematch is going to be here in just a moment. We're going to get a corner kick for Nina Perry, by the way. So Nina Perry will take the corner. It's actually the last game of the regular season for Cape Fear on October 19th up there in Martinsville, Virginia. So Perry, the corner, had her missed. Acuna played it back. And, oh my goodness, I thought that might have a chance. That was Anderson, I believe. Yeah, it was Anderson. Melanie Anderson from Carolina Beach. Another local product here in Wilmington. Just about everybody from the state of North Carolina on this roster, except, of course, for Annis. We told you about her story, Ryan Deppa, when he coached up in the Jamestown, New York area. Played against her in high school. Coached against her in high school. Acuna with a nice play to win back possession here in minute 83, and it's cleared out again. Cape Fear slowing down a little bit, as this one has been decided in their favor really for some time. Bolin had a trouble with it, but able to get it to the far side. Anderson trying to keep it in play. I mean, the keepers for Cape Fear, it's been Garvey and Green here in the second half. Garvey in the first and Green in the second. Have not had to do a whole lot here today. Play it back now to Green. 84th minute. Opportunity now for Patrick Henry, and Lauren Hatcher says, As Brittany Boyd-Knott is slow to get up. Now it'll be cleared out so that they can attend to Brittany. She's walking under her own power, but gingerly. Patrick Henry goes home. They'll host USC Lancaster on Sunday and host Spartanburg Methodist on the 20th. What a stretch. You play Cape Fear, then you've got to take on Lancaster, and then Spartanburg again, who you've seen already this year. That was a good game. It was 3-2. Spartanburg Methodist won that one. So if you're thinking about going to both of those, but you can only make one, try to make the Spartanburg one if you're a Patrick Henry fan. Do they get on the board here? They do. The little flick forward, I believe it was Chelsea Ford with the pass. And is it Freeman? Or is it Cruz? We'll wait for the official announcement.
Patriot goal. Number 17, Kelsey Cruz.
Kelsey Cruz scored the goal. Boy, does she deserve that. I mean, I know Cape Fear fans probably looking for the shutout, but I'm happy for Kelsey Cruz and the day she's had in front of the net. She gets her first goal of the season. Good for her. And that was a beautiful ball to her, too, as well. So Kelsey Cruz comes out of the net, comes to the striker position, and puts it in the back of the net, beating Kennedy Green. That's Green's just her third goal allowed now in her fifth game. 86th minute, 7-1. Cape Fear still well in control of this one. That's the not only first goal, first shot on goal for Patrick Henry. 3 shots. As we wind down here, I'll give you the final numbers, at least as they stand right now. Again, go seadevils.com. We'll have a full recap, all the stats. 32-3 the shots in favor of Cape Fear. 18-1 shots on goal. Corners 5-3 in favor of Cape Fear. There's been one offsides on each team. 13-3 the fouls for the Sea Devils. Goals in this ball game in the 7th minute. It was Carly Higgins with the assist from Janessa Annis. In the 19th, it was Janessa Annis with the assist from Nina Perry. That was a header off a corner kick. Elena Kapp scored her first in the 31st minute to make it 3-0. Then just before the half, Carly Higgins with her second off the assist by Sierra Rayner made it 4-0. In the second half, in the 55th, Carly Higgins got a hat trick as it hit the post and bounced in. Then in the 64th, it was Caps assisted by Higgins. Also in the 64th, in fact, 19 seconds apart, the Caps goal and then the Higgins goal on her 4th of the night with the assist from Nina Perry. And then Kelsey Cruz scored her first. Oh, boy. Cruz went into the box there, and she got somersaulted. Martin with the shot, but it comes right to the keeper, and Kennedy Green makes the play. So Patrick Henry trying to leave with some momentum here. So Kelsey Cruz scoring in the 84th minute. And that's your scoring, folks. 7-1 now as we get late in this one. Nina Perry. Over on the far side, Anderson. Acuna, and it's too far forward, out of play. We're going to get another sub for Patrick Henry here. Approaching minute 89. Acuna takes it right back. Annis. Acuna. Martin on her. And that ball's deflected behind, and it will be a corner kick. And I'm guessing Cape Fear in no particular hurry. So Kayla Acuna will take the corner, take it short. Perry with the side-angled shot, and on a couple of hops, Flincham makes a play on it for Patrick Henry. Manny Burkhead. Throw in now. Here's Annis. Near side, Lauren Hatcher. Caps. Big hit by Annis, and too much on that one. Flincham will jog back as we go inside 1 minute to play. Patrick Henry will fall to 4-2. Again, they host USC Lancaster on Sunday. Cape Fear will improve to 5-0. They're off until Tuesday, the 19th, when they host Lewisburg at 1:30 in the afternoon. Flincham gets it back. Inside 10 seconds left to go here in this one. How about this victory for the Cape Fear Sea Devils? Dominating one of the top attacking teams, the top attacking team at the JUCO level, the Patrick Henry Patriots, by a score of 7-1. Again, GoSeaDevils.com is the place to go. Our next broadcast, September 23rd. It's a day-night doubleheader. The men's soccer program taking on USC Sumter at noon, and the women taking on Wake Tech. Big thanks to my camera person, Karina, also to all of you who watched and chatted with me on YouTube as well. Looking forward to chatting with you again on the 23rd. Until then, enjoy the rest of your week, everyone. Your final score again, Cape Fear 7, Patrick Henry 1. Good night, everybody.